Big Trouble in Little Podcast. And here are your hosts, Joe Dubs and Andy. Hello, Internet peeps, and welcome to another edition of Big Trouble in Little Podcast. I am Joe Dubs.
I'm Andy.
And we are back to movies, and we have a little special movie for you picked by Andy called...
Hollywood Cop. Hollywood Cop.
Yes. And we will be talk about that movie in a few. So, Andy, what the hell have you been watching lately?
I swear I must have watched more stuff, but I can't think of much. Did I talk about Ex Machina last time we did this? I can't remember.
Yeah,
but I
you
watched
did.
that. Okay. Well, I went to see Perfect Blue in the theater. It's a movie that came out in but it never got a theatrical release in the United States. And there's new transfer of it that looked gorgeous. And I watched the first couple episodes of Disenchanted, whatever it is. The new show on Netflix that Matt Groening.
Oh, yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah.
And what I watched was Children of Men. I never watched that movie before. Have you?
I love that movie. The movie's great.
I love how that movie was shot, basically from beginning to end, making it feel like you're in the movie as a person watching these events happening. But if anybody wants a quick synopsis, pretty much women are infertile in the world, pretty much making humans almost become extinct to a sense. And it's really rare to have young people. And when the youngest person in the movie died, like everybody was crying.
It was like a celebrity.
Yeah. And pretty much the main character has to guard this girl for some strange reason, but I'm not going to spoil that because it's really a spoiler in the movie. So go ahead and watch that.
And his dad is Michael Caine.
Yes. Pull my finger. He has the best part in that movie. But that's another spoiler.
Did you know that movie was directed by the same person who did now I'm second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure it's the same person who did Gravity.
Who did what?
Gravity.
You might be right. Hold on, let me double check that real quick.
It's always interesting because I think they also directed one of the Harry Potter movies.
And I almost forgot Julianne Moore was in that movie.
Yeah, and Clive Owen's the main guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's great in that movie.
Yeah, he did Gravity, and Harry Potter, and what is it?
Azkaban, right?
Yeah.
Weird. The guy's all over the place.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, I really haven't been... I mean, I finished the TV show Dark, which is a German show that's on Netflix about mysterious children being dead that are from different decades. So there's a little mystery to it. It kind of... how I could pretty much say it's like Twin Peaks meets Lost. It's like they had a baby.
It's really confusing.
Mm-hmm. And there is subtitles, so if you're not into subtitles, you won't like that movie. But if you're a film and TV watcher, and you don't really care, then you'll like it.
I like them subtitles fine.
Some foreign films are good, and then there's some foreign films that are have that B-rated movie, like Hollywood Cop.
The movie I saw yesterday was subtitled actually.
Mm-hmm. But I've been pretty much playing more video games and watching movies this week because because of Spider-Man, Monster Hunter, and just everything, dude. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this show. Let's go with the movie of the week. Andy, take it away. Hollywood Cop.
God damn it. When I chose this movie, part of me was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to describe this. I mean, in a nutshell, it's this woman has her kid kidnapped, and it turns out to be because her husband, who left like a few months ago or something like that, owes like $6 million or something. It turns out he stole.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants the kid back, and she goes to the cops, like kind of doing their job, but not. She runs into the titular Hollywood cop, Turk. They call him Turk, which is short for turquoise, but they also sometimes call him Turkey. So whatever.
On IMDb, they have him as Turkey.
But yeah, turquoise, they call him at some point. I think it's his middle name or something, but they call him Turk all the time. And he's like a super cop. Oh, he can help you. So she goes to him, and he's supposed to help her, and he's got a black partner, and it's about them trying to get this woman's kid back and also defeat an evil crime lord guy. But the movie is made by Amir Shirvan, who is like, I think he was Iranian? I think he was Iranian or Israeli. He was something. I think he was a Middle Eastern, and it started with I.
Iran.
Okay, he was Iranian, and he came to the United States to make a big Hollywood movie, and kind of did. Like it's one of those so bad it's great movies. The movie he made after this is the movie that more people will recognize. He made Samurai Cop with Robert Zadar after this. However, this movie has goddamn, who plays the police chief?
Oh, I know who you're talking. Cameron Mitchell.
Yeah, Cameron Mitchell. Which I love Cameron Mitchell. I wish he was in it more.
This movie was on Red Letter Media as the worst of the, when they spin the wheel and shit.
Best of the worst. Yeah, I love that show every episode. That's part of why I wanted to choose this, is I've been meaning to watch it, and it was always like, oh, I'll never watch it unless I have VHS at Goodwill or something. But then Amazon added this and a bunch of these other like so bad it's great movies. A bunch of them. Like if you're drinking with buddies and you want to kill some time, get on Amazon Prime and look for. I mean, they got Miami Connection and Deadly Prey and Samurai Cop and like the new Samurai Cop, which I still haven't watched. I heard it wasn't as funny because they like were trying to make a bad movie. Mm-hmm. And then also like a ton of stuff that's just like undiscovered, legit, the worst bad. Like maybe not so bad it's funny, just so bad it's bad. But who knows? Maybe you'll find one of those diamonds, man. Maybe the one to bring it to everyone's attention.
I just want to say, like, the cover of this movie, the poster of it, or even like the VHS or DVD that it's on, they have raping, robbing, kidnapping, and killing. The action never stops.
Yeah, raping. How action packed.
And they're not kidding, because there is a scene there just out of nowhere where
yeah, that scene. Are you gonna talk about the scene where they introduced her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they so he's trying to buy a hot dog, and there's some cops pulling across the street, so he's like, keep it warm for me, will you? And he like hands the hot dog back. And I guess there's a robbery and rape in progress. They know that it's a robbery and rape in progress at this hotel. And these two cops are like, oh, we're waiting for Captain whoever. And they're like, oh, they'll already have raped the guy by his head. Like, he's like, oh, they've already raped the woman, but if they rape the guy, it'll be a real tragedy. I mean, obviously, he's being silly. And then they... I don't want to skip any of the good parts, but I also don't want to like ruin the movie for watching, because basically it ends with a guy getting his head chopped off.
Yeah, and I gotta think, because he did look like an Arab guy. Was that the director? Maybe.
I don't know. I had that thought too when I was watching this. Is that Amir Sherman? But I doubt it. But it's weird. It's like they do like start to rape a woman. I don't know if he actually succeeds. I
No,
guess.
they didn't
Yeah.
go that far, but they pretty much implied that it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah. And then the cops turn up, so all the bad guys start running away, and two of them get shot or whatever. And the guy who they were robbing, the guy whose wife they were going after, catches one of the guys and has a machete. And is like, "Look, Mister, I know this guy just fucked your wife, but it's like, wow, where were you when they were teaching you how to negotiate with people?" And then the guy chops his head off with a machete, and it's like
And he
kind
never
of
get
hilarious, but
and the
weird.
guy never gets arrested.
Oh yeah, no, I know, yeah, well, because he's dead. Oh, you mean the guy who chopped his head off? Oh,
Yeah.
I assume he did, right?
Uh,
Murder?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
It would be murder. What's murder like in the heart of the moment? Second degree or third degree or whatever?
I think third degree. No, I
Yeah.
think first degree.
No, first degree is where you like plan it.
True. I don't know. It's one of the degrees.
Yeah, but anyway, whatever. This movie doesn't have time for intricacies such as the law. But yeah, then the rookie cop who's Turk like starts.
Yeah, what was funny in the beginning is like after this woman's kid has been kidnapped, they have like a montage of like Los Angeles, pretty much of her walking the streets,
Yeah,
and you see her like smile a little bit, and I'm just like, why are you smiling? Your kid is like kidnapped, and then like she goes up to the hot dog lady, and she's like, "Who is that?" He's like, "Oh, that's Turk. He's one of the greatest cops in this district. He's a good cop. He's a good man." And,
it's so weird. She's like, "Oh, he's so fuckable. I love it." No, she doesn't actually say that.
yeah, and
It's
then she's like, "The best man. Maybe I should hire him to look for my kid." And then all of a sudden, like after the whole rape hotel scene kind of thing, um, they go back to the hot dog stand and she's crying and I'm just like the feelings are inconsistent in this film, but
yeah, it's clear that like the direction on certain scenes were different than other scenes. It's clear they weren't shot on the same day.
mhm. But I'm not really picky about that. I just thought it was funny, like, oh, kid is kidnapped, let's have a montage. Let's go.
And then they're like, "Oh, who's doing your case?" Like Captain whatever. And they're like, "Oh no, he sucks." But and I know I'm jumping to the end. At the end, Captain whatever, I still can't remember his name, turns up and like helps them. Like he was doing his job the whole time. He's just in the movie. And at the end of the movie, they're like, "Oh no, he was totally on the case." It's really
Hmm.
weird that way. But then they decide to get coffee, and where do they go to get coffee? Fucking Arby's. Did you notice that they're in an Arby's?
Yeah. Well,
So
you could tell, like, certain areas where they could only shoot in the entrance, like pretty much the police station. You have the girl come out of the entrance and walk down like she told the cops, and then I guess Arby's wanted some type of ad, so they did it in that restaurant.
I doubt Arby's knew what was happening. I'm sure they walked in and asked the manager, "Hey, can we shoot this scene in here?" He was like,
Whatever,
okay, I
man.
guess. Yeah, fucking stay out of the way, I guess."
Yeah. And what's funny about this is like the bad guys or just people in general didn't care about women at all. Like you had that animal character who just kept on like touching all the women in the place.
Yeah, that's something with a lot of these real bad action movies. They always like deal with and portray women characters the absolute worst, the worst. But that's part of like the backward. This is the worst thing I've ever seen, Charm.
All right, I have to ask you about this scene. And did you laugh, or were you like, "Oh my god, this is the stupidest scene"? Because I laughed throughout this whole scene. It's when the kid is talking to the dog for a
Oh
good.
my god, it's ridiculous. What the fuck is happening in that scene? It's like they started shooting a completely different movie for some reason.
I was
And he's
like,
like, "I used to have a goat, but when I get out of here, I'm gonna get a dog." And it's like, I keep saying and it's like and then stopping, and I know I sound like a complete idiot, but it really is mind-blowingly. I love the fact that it's the dog kind of understands the kid, but not really. And then he's like, "I need you to help me get out of here." The kid just gets out of there by himself.
Yeah, I didn't understand because at the point where he's like, "I need you to help me with the latch," and the dog just pretty much stands there while the
Dog
kid.
does nothing.
What?
The dog does nothing. The dog just like watches the kid let himself out.
And by God, that scene, like them shooting the dog, like you think you would be like, "Oh, a dog got shot," but like you could tell the dog was just laying down, and they just pulled.
Yeah. Part of me was like, "Oh, they shot the dog." Well, it was so unconvincing. It was obviously just they told the dog to lie down and then put some nonsense on it. It lacks any punch. But yeah, my first instinct was like, "Oh no, they shot the dog." Well, okay, never mind.
And then the abuse of the kid, like at the like.
The guy like rolls up on the kid and like starts beating his ass. And so I was like, "Holy shit!"
But I like
this kid. This kid is like, what is he like, 7, 8, maybe, or something like that.
But I like the scene after that. Like Feliciano's going to the house and he's like, "The kid is badly hurt, but he'll be alive." I'm like,
"Oh yeah, I forgot about that." He'll live though. It's like, Jesus Christ, movie. It's a child.
And there was one part where you could see like they freeze framed because I guess the guy didn't want to show that he beat the shit out of the kid, but he does like a backhand and then like it freezes and then the kid like sells it like Ric Flair getting slapped and shit. Like I was like, that's a good seller. He might be a good wrestler one day.
Oh yeah.
But I thought everything where it kind of got me off a little bit was near the end where
it's a weird choice of words.
Yeah. A lot of titties in this film, by the way. So this is not for kids, especially when there's rape in the beginning.
Yeah, there's rape and violence against pets and children and women, and yeah.
Because you would think when the father hands off the fake money to Feliciano, like there would be like a shootout and kind of end there a little bit, but they it dragged out a lot.
It felt like that should have been the end. They just like shoot the guy in the back, and then Turk and the woman kind of fight them for a while.
And this guy must have a lot of bad guys because just nonstop of people, and there's like bad guys named Animal, Spaghetti.
Oh yeah, one of them's named Spaghetti. I thought that was the dog's name for like 2 scenes, and then at the end I was like, that is that guy's name. That guy's name is Spaghetti. I think it was because he was Italian. I think the writer just thought Italian people nicknamed Spaghetti. Like if the dog's name was Spaghetti, it's like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. That sounds like a dog's name. But oh my god, stupid. But yeah, you're right. He had a lot of henchmen, but the only ones that really mattered were Spaghetti because he beat the kid, and Animal, who was like more memorable than the main bad guy. Animal was like the bad guy. We gotta get this guy. He's fucking out of his mind. He's attacking women. He wants to fuck them on the floor for some reason. Oh man, he's crazy.
Yeah. And the best part of Animal was in the very beginning when the boss is like, "I don't want any dead bodies. I just want the kid and I want the wife to be alive." "No problem, boss. I'm gonna kill them all." And I'm just like, I'm like, what? Yeah, the Gentleman's Club, the when they go talk to the Asian, especially when they're trying to find a name in the book, I thought that was hilarious on how they were doing that. But then at the same time, I was like, they're never gonna meet the boss until probably later, but they're gonna try to beat him up. And then they had a fight scene, which was hilarious, and just the camera work and the fight scenes were funny as fuck. The kid's father, though, what'd you think of the sad part where you find out he has blood cancer?
He has blood cancer. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm sick. That's why I left you and your mother. I got blood cancer. It's that's weird. It's such a dumb scene, and it like they're like rescuing the kid, and he's like, "I'm sorry. Uh, this is why I left your mom and you and stole $6 million from a crime boss." And like earlier in the movie when they find him time, he's like in some dude's backyard with like 7 women and one of them are like grilling out or something.
He's like
Like,
feeling up on them, like life is
yeah.
good. Like
But
they try to put emotion into the audience, like, oh, this guy's not that bad.
but I never understood. Later they find the money and they're like, "Oh my god, it's $6 million!" And I was like, "Then how did he get all that the nice house and all those women?"
He probably stole 5 million and kept 1 million for himself. I don't know. But even that scene, like, and we're kind of jumping around, but that scene in itself, I'm like, wait, Turk, you're a cop. You're not. That's stolen money.
I didn't even think about that. Like at that point, he was like off the force or whatever. Turn in your badge.
Well,
And but yeah, you're right. He's like, "We're rich," and it's like, "No, you're not, bitch."
I thought
He's a crooked cop, I guess. That's what.
I showed the cover to my friend this movie, and he's like, "Is that Richard D. Anderson?" I'm like, "No."
This is no one you ever heard.
The guy's name is David Goss, and I'm looking at his IMDb, and it's just nothing but bad movies. Actually, there's only 3 movies he's done. Anyway.
Oh, only 3 movies.
4. And there's some TV shows in there, but everybody's done TV shows, I guess. But David Goss did all right. Like he had some funny scenes in there, especially when he's talking to the Asian guy with his book. The whole time I thought they went into a Chinese restaurant and kind of just heckled the staff. Like I think that would have been funny if that was real. If they did that. Like, he just stole my book. Motherfucker stole my book.
Oh, this is sad. I also had to look up David Goss, like just to see what else he's done. And it's just miscellaneous crew. He was a production assistant for 22 episodes of The Bachelorette. Like that's what he's been reduced to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so sad.
Some people are just not cut for it, man.
I guess not, but come on, give him a bit. Never mind. He actually he's not acting. The only person in that movie who could act was Cameron Mitchell, and he clearly did all of his scenes in a day and didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, the wife, in general, like she was emotionless throughout the whole movie. Like she's like,
Yeah.
I want my kid, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we get it. We want your kid.
I like that scene where they're drinking, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna have fun," and she's like, "Finding the kid," and they're like, kills the mood entirely. Like in her defense, yeah, they are looking for.
Oh my god, the baby oil scene with the rest.
Oh yeah, he has to wrestle those 2 women for no reason. That scene did not matter at all.
And I get it, like he's a perv and he likes women and stuff.
Sure,
but,
yeah. I mean,
but
I like. I'm a.
yeah.
So I get it.
Same here. But like the way they did that scene, though, he was like, "I could wrestle women. I'll beat them with no problem." Like,
yeah, there's no reason for it. Like, this is one of the things I do remember from that episode of Best of the Worst is they were talking about, like, if you're writing the script, like, they go to that guy because they need to know where the father is.
mm-hmm.
And they could have been like, "Oh, I'll tell you what, you beat these 2 women in wrestling, and I'll tell you," or something like that. No, he just tells them, and then the black cop is like, "Oh, women wrestling, that's ridiculous." And he's like, "Oh, these women are really tough," and then they wrestle.
Yep.
There's no reason. There's no reason for it.
And then he just takes their tops off, and that's how he wins.
He doesn't have to pin them or nothing.
Yeah. And by the way, how they got that address so easily? Oh, the son is sick. He really needs to see his father. Oh yeah. Here's the address.
Okay.
Oh man, this movie, and what I was explaining with the mother, by the way, is like near the end, like when they're like, I want to go home. I want to be with my goat, and like, and then like she starts to get lovey touchies, like, I like you, I find you, no, I love you, and I'm like, you known him for 3 days, and
Yeah.
you
So
like,
why don't you slow the fuck down? I don't know. You get through a couple gunfights together. I imagine you develop some pretty strong feelings, and by feelings I mean hormones, and then you fuck.
yeah. An animal could have killed her, by the way.
Yeah, animal could have killed a lot of people.
Yeah. The death scenes in this movie were pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when Animal gets shot in the nuts, and Feliciano, like when they killed him, like it didn't feel like accomplished. It's like they just shot a dude and they just walked away.
Yeah, like I almost like kind of missed it in a way. Like
Mm-hmm.
it lacked any kind of like gravitas. It didn't have like a big oh yeah, we got him. It was just kind of okay, and yeah, the scene went on.
And he needs to reevaluate his crew because every time he trusts somebody, they steal his money or they steal something from him.
Yeah.
And the stupid mother, like, here's the thing. Like, before they go get the stuff from the house, Turk is like, I don't know, this is a bad idea. Like, Feliciano is still out there. He's not going to stop until either you're dead and get his money back or something like that. And they're like, let's just take the whole fucking family to the house that they'll probably go to.
Yeah. Yeah, then they go to the house and they find them at the house. That's like, wow, this is like the most obvious thing in the world.
Yeah. And they bring like fucking 4 cars full of men, which somehow Turk and the mother just shoots all of them and kills them. But it's just trying to show that Turk is like a super cop in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that part. He's like, it's a stupid piece of garbage. He's a super cop. Yeah, he can kill all the bad guys. Sure.
Mm. And then near the end, they're just like, we know you killed a lot of dudes when you're not a cop anymore, but you found the kid. Here's your badge back.
Yeah, just
And then the the lieutenant who like fucking hates his guts ends up liking him. Like they almost had a fight and shit in the
they
beginning.
work together. Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. And then,
I don't. I think they were like, God damn it, we have to write a scene where these two characters make up. Okay, I'll just write it, I guess. And that was just the end.
yeah, I was thinking they were gonna possibly set up a sequel, Hollywood Cop 2 maybe, or something. But nothing really happened at the end besides the the black cop just leaving his partner for a girl because he's the horny black guy.
Yeah, they're like, we're splitting you up. And they're like, oh no. And then his new partner is like some flirtatious woman. She's like, hey, how's it going, stud? And what? She's a cop or something? What? I guess they're going to fight crime, but also do the sex.
Yes, because they imply that.
Yeah.
And when they're at the gentleman's club area, like the whole walk in on the quote unquote Prince of Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Like that scene,
That
like
scene is weird.
I just feel like the director is like, oh, this is funny. Let's just put him in a random room with the Prince of Africa. That'll be funny. And oh look,
Yeah,
boobies.
the Prince of a continent.
Yeah.
I am Prince of Africa. Weird. And he's like, is the joke that black people look alike? Because the guy who's saying the line is black. It's the black cop.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the same guy who steals from Feliciano. Like I think they used the same guy. I don't know. I could be wrong. But there was also another weird scene that I kind of like glanced over a little bit because it was like, oh, you have to have that sex scene in there of the two bad guys with the girls and stuff. And by the way, in the same room, it was a little weird. But that you could glance over all that shit. But just this whole movie was a ride, like a fun ride. It's not one of those bad movies where you're just like, they're trying to act, Like they're trying to act in this film too, but at some point they had to be aware that this is a bad movie.
Yeah, it's a really bad movie, but I think part of what made me enjoy it so much is there are like flashes of confidence. I mean, not like extreme confidence. Like at no point is this Die Hard or Lethal Weapon or anything. But there for once or twice there's like a neat. Oh, that was a cool little like when the guy's walking on the roof and he shoots him with the shotgun and oh that was suspenseful for like 3/4 of a second. No, this is fun, but yeah, overall it's awful, but there's just enough real movie in there to keep you entertained through.
Mm-hmm. It had somewhat of a structure.
Yeah, you had a plot. But I've seen a lot of bad movies where I could not synopsize the plot to save. I kind of think like if you like this movie, I highly recommend watching Samurai Cop because it is also so bad it's great. And most people think it's better, but I have to rewatch it because part of me liked Hollywood Cop better, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, and I also do recommend this film. I mean, I enjoyed it from start to finish, and uh, if you're not a fan of like B-rated movies where you have to have seriousness and good writing and good directing, then this movie's not for you. But if you're a fan of like this kind of stuff, then go ahead. It's a good watch.
This is an excellent movie for you, a few friends, and a couple six packs, something like that. So it's very, very ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, do you have anything else to add about that, or you just want to close on our recommendations?
I guess, yeah, big time recommend. But let this go to show. Don't write off a movie just because it's bad. I love this and Samurai Cop, and Deadly Prey, and Miami Connection. All these movies, I said a lot of people like The Room. I don't really see what they see in it, but yeah, I'll sit down and watch The Room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Miami Connection. Everybody should watch.
Oh yeah.
Taekwondo. That's all I'll say. Um. Yeah, next week's movie is gonna be my pick, and it's not gonna be another B-rated movie. I think we're gonna get a little serious with Matt Damon. It's on Netflix. It's called The Informant. I heard good things about it. I don't know what it's.
Oh, is that the one that's like a dark comedy sort of?
Yeah, he's
I
always
remember when that was in theaters. I wanted to see it.
he's always like paranoid and shit. And it's Matt Damon. Matt Damon's always good.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. But yeah, that's gonna be our next movie for the movie of the week. So make sure to watch it and then be ready for the podcast so that we can discuss about it. And always, if you have a suggestion, go on Podbean and give us a comment, or also give us a comment on YouTube, which we do upload over there. And tell us what movie to watch instead of us making our own decisions on what movies to watch. Yeah,
But don't tell us to watch Greed.
yeah. There's no news. I mean, I'll make a quick like mention that the Purge series premiered on USA Network, and it did okay. I mean, if you're a fan of the Purge, which is a yearly thing that happens in the movie where they all crime is legal.
Wait, yeah. How do they? Hang on. Oh, God. How do they make a series out of that? You said that earlier, like before the show. And it didn't dawn on me how little sense.
There's ways you could make this if it had good writing. I mean,
like, is it like an anthology? Is that what? Like an anthology that takes place over the night of a single first night or something?
Well, in the movies, they kind of discuss about like all the politics and politicians that quickly.
Oh, so it gives context.
Yeah, I what my friend said, and keep in mind, I didn't watch this yet. I'm just mentioning it, but my friend who did watch it just said that the first episode is the Purge itself, and that pretty much they might have like 10 episodes of just Purge, and I'm just like, yeah, you kind of have to have backstory of like how did the politics get to this point where we need to lessen the population, who thought it was great to just start having killings in the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways you could make it interesting, and if you have good writing and good actors, you could definitely make this a good TV show. But yeah, I mean, Predator, is coming out, I think, or it just came out. Um, I heard good things about it. Didn't get enough marketing to have me hype for it. Basically, the next movie I'm waiting for is the new Halloween movie. So, I mean, we're not getting another Star Wars film until next December. Hopefully, that will be good. Yeah, I feel like movies is this time, not this time, but the past few years have been kind of lame.
Yeah, this movie hasn't. Or this movie. God damn, I did it too. This year hasn't been great movies. There's been some good movies this year, but nothing that's really like knocked my dick stiff or anything.
Yeah, and it seems like every movie and everything in general is just getting so politicized from both ends of the spectrum to kind of be like, well, I don't want to watch this because then I'm going to piss a certain type of people off.
Whatever. Nah.
Yeah.
I have political opinions. Everyone does, but I don't watch movies for this shit.
Oh, did we ever talk about the screenshots of the new Terminator?
No,
Have you seen the screenshots of the new Terminator?
no, I didn't know there was going to be another Terminator. I didn't think the last few did that great.
Well, they're ignoring 3 and 4.
Fair enough.
Wait, 3, Salvation and Genesis don't exist. Only Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 exist. That means Sarah Connor is still alive. So Linda Hamilton.
No. I remember this. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about this in forever. I kind of forgot about that. It's just everything's a remake and a reboot. Fucking this, that, and the other. I got. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to that? Where is that movie?
I believe it's coming out soon. But have you ever seen? You don't watch TV shows on Netflix, right? Like Black Mirror.
No, not really. I always mean to, but it's so hard for me to say I'm going to watch a TV show. It's like, oh, I could watch 5 movies instead.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, because of how the industry is showing like how women are strong, they show like the women of the movies. It's Sarah Connor, aka Linda Hamilton, the girl from San Junipero episode of Black Mirror. She's in it, and then I don't know who the third one is. But like when you think of Terminator, who do you think of right away?
I guess Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold is nowhere to be found in the marketing so far.
But he's like 70, isn't he? I mean,
yeah, but he's still like the flagship of the franchise.
I guess, but if you're going to go forward with Terminator and it's going to be in the exact same universe, I don't know if you can lean on it much longer. Which, honestly, I would think they would have that conversation and say, we better not do that. But if they've got to do it, you have got to make someone else do this.
Yeah, well, I think what's finally going to happen in this film is that, Arnold's character is going to die. So
I mean, he has kind of.
He's always died.
twice or more.
He got blown up by fucking Sarah Connor, and then he killed himself in the lava with the thumbs up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which never prevented Judgment Day. Judgment Day still happened. Yeah. Wait a second. If third never happened, the Terminator 3, that's when Judgment Day happened on Terminator 3.
That's right.
So Judgment Day hasn't happened yet. So I wonder what's going to happen in this film. See, I hate reboots. You got to stick.
There's a lot of these movies that are like not a reboot, not a redo. They're not anything. They like want to ignore the bad. In October, Halloween comes out, and it ignores every Halloween movie except the first one. Which, cool. I mean, that sounds good. I want to see that movie, but it's weird because now that's the new thing. They want to just no, we're not gonna. Those movies didn't happen. We're gonna make a sequel to the good one because we want the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna probably happen. Like the ideas in the bad movies could be implemented into the quote unquote the good sequel,
and depending on who's in charge, yeah.
And it's just gonna be like, oh man, I've seen that in like Halloween 5 or Halloween H2O. Like,
Oh yeah, H2O wasn't the worst of them. I think they're going to do a bunch of real stuff, and if I recall properly, I'm sure that 100 people will correct me on this. If I recall properly, it wasn't until Halloween 2 that they introduced the stuff about them being related. So that means going forward, Michael's just evil. He's just a killer. He broke out of an insane asylum, and now he's killing babysitters and teenagers. Which, I mean, like the original Halloween is a masterpiece. Hear just that, you're like, oh, yeah, it kind of takes some of the wind out of your sails a little bit. The second one added a lot, but they had to.
But isn't what her face is going to be in it?
Yeah, Laurie Strode.
Oh god, like I bet you amount of money they're gonna reveal, like, oh my god, he's my brother, and if they do that,
I wondered that. I really did. I wondered if they are. You gotta wait till October to find out.
I don't know. It's we've always said this on like every podcast we ever did. Make something original. Stop rehashing.
Yeah,
everything is a money grab now. It's so fucking sickening. But anyway, I think that's where we'll end it. Make sure to follow us on Podbean, which is B.T.I.L.P.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes and YouTube. If you search Big Trouble Podcast, I'm pretty sure you could find us on YouTube. We do have a website, which I need to start building. BigTroublePodcast.com. That's where all our episodes are stored. And, discussions could be had. On that note, I think we'll end it. Is there anything you've been, before I sign off, Andy, have you been streaming lately? I know this is a movie podcast, but have you been streaming on your Twitch?
Some, not as much as I was. It was like every day. Now it's down to like a couple times a week. It's just been so busy.
Life does sure get in the way. So yeah, I've been doing a little Battlefield 5 beta, and then Spider-Man. But that'll be next week's episode of Escape from SideQuest, where we'll talk about games. Until that note, everybody, have a good night.
Thanks for listening.